Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing 17 staples that I always keep in my fridge and pantry for baby-led weaning and toddler meals. As much as I would love to be the Pinterest mom that cooks from scratch for every single meal, that's not always possible, and sometimes I just need to have some really solid staples to fall back on. So these are all things that we always have in the house that I can really quickly throw together healthy meals with. There will be a printable shopping list graphic down in the description below if you want to just have a quick reference. I hope that this helps reduce your meal fatigue because I know it's real. So the first category of things I want to talk about is proteins, because that's personally been the hardest thing for me, making sure that he eats a balanced diet. The first thing that I always have in the house is shredded chicken, and I either will cook or buy chicken and shred it up. I keep a portion of it in my fridge for the next couple of days, and then I freeze a bunch of different snack size baggies with like 2 to 3 meals worth so I can pull them out as needed. I don't add any seasonings when I cook this because I like to use it in a lot of different dishes for him, so I need to season it differently each time with sauce and spices and all that kind of stuff. So I will do that as I'm preparing it to give him rather than when I cook it, if that makes sense. The next protein we always have in the house is plain Greek yogurt. Again, this can be a really good ingredient in things, but it's also just really solid on its own as far as getting babies fat and protein without a lot of extra added stuff. One of our favorite breakfasts is fruit and peanut butter Greek yogurt, and he'll eat it every single time. It's always a safe food for us, and I feel like it's pretty nutritionally dense. And as far as frozen meats go, there are 2 that I always keep in my freezer. The first one is frozen fish. It doesn't really matter which kind. We found that the best ones for us have been like salmon and tilapia. Fish is a really good one for babies who are just learning to eat too, because it flakes up really easily and you can serve it to them in a way that it's not going to be a choking hazard, whereas like chicken and beef are a little bit harder. They take a little bit more work to shred up, but fish is really easy. And then the last one is frozen meatballs. Now I will say with this that you want to be careful of which brand you're buying because the nutritional panels can be scary on some of them, so you're going to want to look for something that's lower in sodium. We always go for turkey meatballs just because we don't eat a lot of red meat, but they are great to have for like meatball sandwiches. In Rowan's case, they're deconstructed meatball sandwiches because he can't really like pick up a sandwich, or to put in spaghetti or to have over rice. We'll do teriyaki meatballs. They're pretty versatile. Then I'm going to talk about produce, because obviously we want to be feeding our kiddos lots of fresh fruits and vegetables, but there are some that are way easier to prep than others. So as far as fruit goes, the number one thing we always keep in the house are berries. So blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, strawberries, because they are very low effort for breakfasts and snack times. With blueberries, you can just kind of crush them a little bit. Raspberries, depending on your baby's age, you can either cut up or give them whole. Strawberries, we just slice, and it's quick. It's very quick to get them on the table. In a similar vein, we also always have cuties, the like little tangerines in the house, because peeling them and then separating them into the slices, again, is super easy. I'm not having to like steam anything, which can be a big pain in the butt, especially when your baby's really small. If your baby is really young, you should look up how to properly cut these. I was very animated with my hands. I get very passionate about baby-led weaning. And we also want to make sure that we're providing a lot of healthy fats, and one really great way to do that is avocados. So I make sure we always have those in the house. We use them on avocado toast. I'll just give spears of them to him plain. You can mash it up in stuff. One thing to note with avocados is that while avocado itself isn't necessarily a really common allergen, it is one of the highest pollen carrying foods. And so if your baby's allergic to pollen, watch out for that. I personally am. It's not too bad, so I can eat them anyway, but just something to look out for. Then 2 really easy vegetables to keep in your fridge that you don't have to prep are pre-cooked beets. So we get the I Love Beets brand, and I will just slice them up, or I'll use a cheese grater to grate them into meals. They're really high in vitamins and also in folate, so that's a bonus if you're a pregnant mama. You can eat with your toddler and get that folate in there. And then I also buy the crinkle cut butternut squash from Trader Joe's. This is a really great one for really small babies because the crinkle cut helps them to pick them up when they don't have super great fine motor skills. I do pay to get the butternut squash prepped. It's one of the few foods that I will buy like pre-prepped for me because, first of all, squash hands are awful. You know that like film you get on your hands? And cutting butternut squashes is such a pain in the butt. So they're not that expensive given how many meals you can get out of them if your baby's the only one eating them. And you just microwave them all at once. And then once they've cooled, I put them back in the same plastic container and keep it in the fridge. And we do like a baby fistful size at a time. Butternut squash is also one that even picky eaters will usually accept. It's like a really palatable food, I guess, probably because it's a little bit sweet. Then going on to grains, I always keep whole or multigrain bread in the house. I always keep mine in the fridge because it stays better longer, and I toast it at least once a day. Rowan has toasted bread as the base for a sandwich, or like peanut butter toast or avocado toast or something. Obviously whole grains are really good for you, and it's a really good first food as well for like 6-month-olds if you cut it into strips, because the toasting makes it much less of a choking hazard. Another thing that we always keep on hand is the hint of salt crackers. So they're basically Ritz, but they're lower in sodium. So if you're watching your baby's sodium intake like we are, that's a good thing to have on hand. Again, you can put a lot of different things on them: peanut butter, avocado, cream cheese, hummus, and Rowan also just likes them plain. Again, check the nutritional label. We also always have unflavored oatmeal cups in the house. We get the ones from Trader Joe's, and they're just the little cardboard cups that you can fill with water and then put in the microwave, and it makes it so much easier than doing like a stovetop oatmeal situation in the morning. And then we give him part of it and we put the rest in the fridge for the next day. And because they're unflavored, they obviously don't have loads of sugar in them, and I can personalize them every day. So sometimes we'll do like cinnamon and banana, or I'll do blueberries in there, or a little bit of maple syrup if I'm feeling like giving him a treat. You could totally do this with just like rolled oats too, but I think the cups are just easier. And I think having the unflavored version makes it so that your kid doesn't get super bored of having the same breakfast a few times a week, because you're able to switch up the flavor. We also always keep penne pasta in the cupboard. We personally like the chickpea kind from Bonza. You could totally do this with like regular penne pasta or whole wheat penne pasta. Again, super easy for babies that are 6 months all the way up to, you know, adults. Who doesn't like pasta? Chickpea pasta has a few added benefits as well, so that's why we like it. It's also just easier on our stomachs, I feel like. It's not so heavy. And then I have a couple random things to add at the end. One of them is pasta sauce. Again, check for a low sodium option. Another one is peanut butter. We get the natural one from Jif that is a little bit cleaner as far as ingredients go and isn't as salty. And then whole milk, since Rowan is mostly weaned from breastfeeding, we give him whole milk with some of his meals. And it's also a really easy way to add extra protein and calcium into other meals, like making the oatmeal with it. And those 17 items, if that's all I have on my grocery list, I can make a ton of different meal combinations for him in a lot of different flavors. I feel like it's a really solid base. So again, if you want to download the little shopping list, the link to that will be in my description. I hope this was helpful for you. I would love to know what your pantry staples are, because I love adding new things to the rotation. As usual, I love you guys so much, and I can't wait to see you again super soon.